In this video, you'll be learning how to make a snowman ornament. This is perfect for absolute beginners and is super cute. If you have zero experience in crocheting, don't worry because we'll be going nice and slow so that you understand each step before moving on to the next one. If you like the snowman ornament, you can find the written pattern on our Instagram page at Animal Crochet Store. And without further ado, let's get started. So to create a snowman, the materials that you will need is a roll of white yarn, a roll of orange yarn, a roll of pink yarn, your crochet hook, tapestry needle, stitch marker, a pair of eyes, a pair of scissors, and also some stuffing. So to begin with, you want to take your roll of white yarn and start by creating a magic circle. So to create a magic circle, you'll have to place your white yarn in between your last two fingers, and then across your middle two, around your index finger, and then you want to circulate around your middle two fingers twice, like this. Then you can take your crochet hook and insert it under both loops. And you want to pull out this white yarn. Yarn over and pull through the loop. In our first round, we'll have to do 6 single crochet in the magic ring. So to create a single crochet, you'll have to insert your hook under both loops. Pull out the yarn, and you should see 2 loops on your hook. Then you want to yarn over and pull through both loops. Then that's your first single crochet. We'll have to repeat this 5 more times. So once again, under both loops, pull out the yarn, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through. So before moving on to our next round, we can count our stitches. So starting from the beginning, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. If you have the correct number of stitches, then you can start closing up the magic circle. To do that, you'll have to pull this little yarn end slightly. See the ones that's moving, and you want to take that one and pull it from the bottom. Once the other loop is closed, you can just simply pull this yarn end again to close up the magic circle, like this. Insert your hook back into the original loop. You also want to take your stitch marker and place it under both loops of your last stitch. Moving on to our second round, we'll have to do a pattern of increase for 6 times. So to do an increase, you'll have to insert your hook under both loops of your next stitch, pull out the yarn, yarn over and pull through. That's 1 single crochet into the next stitch. And you want to put another single crochet into the same stitch. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and pull through both loops. Like this. So an increase is basically 2 single crochet into the same stitch. We'll repeat that 5 more times. Insert your hook under both loops, pull out your yarn, yarn over and pull through both loops. That's 1 single crochet into our second stitch. Then you want to insert your hook under both loops of the same stitch, pull out the yarn over and pull through both loops. And that's our second single crochet into the second stitch. And now we're basically doing increase around until we reach our stitch markers. I'm onto my last stitch. Remove the stitch marker and put in your last set of increase. One and two single crochet into the same stitch. So before moving on to our next round, we want to count our stitches. So starting from the beginning, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So at the end of this round, you should have a total of 12 stitches. Moving on to our third round, we'll be doing a pattern of 1 single crochet followed up by an increase for 6 times. So we'll do the first set together, 1 single crochet into our first stitch, and then an increase into our second stitch. That's our first set, and we have to repeat that. 1 single crochet and 1 increase. In the next 5 sets. I'm on to my last stitch, remove the stitch marker, and you want to put in an increase. Always remember to put back your stitch marker. By the end of this round, you should have a total of 18 stitches. Moving on to our fourth round, we'll be doing a pattern of 2 single crochet followed up by an increase for 6 times. So we'll do the first set together, 1 single crochet into the next stitch, another single crochet into our second stitch. On our third stitch, you want to put in an increase. 1 and 2 single crochet into the next stitch. Now you want to repeat that pattern 5 more times. 1 single crochet, another single crochet, and then an increase. 1 and 2. Onto our last stitch, remove your stitch marker, and it should be an increase. back your stitch marker under both loops of your last stitch. And by the end of this round, you should have a total of 24 stitches. Moving on to our 5th and 6th round, we'll be doing single crochet around. So no more increases, just single crochet around. And you'll have to do that for 2 rounds. Onto our last stitch, remove the stitch marker and put in your last single crochet. Always remember to put back your stitch marker under both loops of your last stitch. Now moving on to our 7th round, it will get more complicated, so pay close attention and follow carefully. So onto our 7th round, we'll first begin with 8 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now you have your 8th single crochet done. Then you want to yarn over and pull through the loop. That's your first chain. Then again, yarn over and pull through the loop. That's your second chain. And after that, you want to put a single crochet into the first chain that you have made. So skip this chain into this loop, pull out your yarn, yarn over and pull through both loops to make a single crochet. Now back into the same stitch, you want to pull out the yarn and directly pull it through to create a slip stitch. Then we'll repeat that pattern one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So once again, yarn over, pull through the loop, yarn over and pull through the loop to create 2 chains. Then insert your hook into the first chain that you have just made. Pull out your yarn, yarn over and pull through both loops to create a single crochet. then back into the same stitch. Pull out the yarn and directly pull it through to create a slip stitch. Then we can just continue until we reach our stitch marker by single crocheting. Onto the last stitch, remove the stitch marker and put in a single crochet. Then put back the stitch marker under both loops of your last stitch. Moving on to our 8th round, we'll be doing single crochet round, and we'll do the same for the 9th and 10th round, but let's do the 8th round together. So just single crochet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Then we reach the hand area. You want to pull it back and insert your stitch here. And do your single crochet, skipping the hand. Then again, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We reach the other hand. Again, pull it back and insert your hook into the next stitch, which is this stitch. Pull out the yarn over and pull through. And we'll just continue until we reach the stitch marker to finish the 8th round. Remove the stitch marker and put in your last single crochet. Put back the stitch marker. So after finishing our 8th round, for our next 2 rounds, we'll basically just do single crochet around. Onto the last stitch, remove the stitch marker and put in a single crochet. Put it back and we'll continue doing single crochet for our next round. So onto my last stitch of my 10th round, I'll put in a single crochet. And always remember to put back the stitch marker. Now you see this yarn end, you can just place it inside the body. Moving on to our 11th round, it will be another more complicated round because we'll be making the V, so pay close attention and follow the steps carefully. Onto our next stitch, we'll be doing 2 single crochet and a decrease for 3 times. So 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, and then we'll do a decrease. So to do a decrease, you'll have to insert your hook under both loops of your next stitch, pull out the yarn, and into the next stitch, you want to insert your hook under both loops, and again pull out the yarn. So with that, you should have a total of 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops to finish your decrease. That's 1 set. We'll have to do that 2 more times. 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, and then a decrease. Under both loops of your next stitch, pull out the yarn. Under both loops of your next stitch, pull out the yarn. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Again, our 3rd set, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, and then a decrease. After that, we'll have to chain 2. If you remember, yarn over and pull through the loop. That's your first chain. Again, yarn over and pull through the loop. And now you have 2 chains. Then you want to again skip the first stitch. Insert your hook into the second one. Pull out the yarn. Yarn over and pull through to put in a single crochet. Then back into the same stitch. You want to put in a slip stitch. Pull out the yarn and directly pull it through. Like this. Then you want to do again 2 single crochet, 1, 2, and then followed up by a decrease. Now you want to again put in your another foot, yarn over, pull through to create your first chain, yarn over and pull through to create your second chain, and into your first chain, pull out the yarn, yarn over and pull through both loops to create a single crochet. Then back into the same stitch, pull out the yarn, and directly pull it through to create a slip stitch. Then we'll continue doing the pattern of 2 single crochet followed up by a decrease. 1, 2, and then a decrease. Again, 1 and 2, and then remove the stitch marker and put in a decrease. Always remember to put back your stitch marker under both loops of your last stitch. Now moving on to our 12th round, we'll be doing a pattern of 1 single crochet followed up by a decrease. We'll do the first set together, 1 single crochet into our next stitch, and then we'll do a decrease. Pull out the yarn, insert it into the next stitch, pull out the yarn, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Again, 1 single crochet, and then a decrease. And now we have reached the first foot. You want to pull it back. And then onto our next stitch, which is this stitch right here. You want to put in a single crochet. And then into the next 2 stitch, a decrease. We have now reached our second foot, pull it back. Onto our next stitch, put in a single crochet. And then a decrease. Again, 1 single crochet, and then our last set of decrease. 1 and 2. 3 loops and then pull through. Put back your stitch marker under both loops of your last stitch. And we have finished our 12th round. So after finishing your 12th round, you should have a total of 12 stitches. And before moving on to our last round, you want to start putting in your eyes and also the stuffing. Start off with the eyes. You want to place it 1 stitch away from the hand. And the same for the other eye. 1 stitch away from the hand. Make sure that they are on the same level and they're balanced, then you can put in your washers. Once that's done, you can start stuffing your snowman. And at the same time, you also want to shape it a bit. So I like mine chubbier, so I'm gonna put a bit more stuffing into it. Once you're happy with the result, we can finish our last round. So for our last round, we'll be doing a pattern of decrease for 6 times. So starting off into our next stitch, you want to put in a decrease. 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through. Once again, insert a hook under both loops of your next stitch. The same for the next stitch, pull out the yarn, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And you repeat that until you reach your stitch marker. To our last decrease, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Remove the stitch marker, and we'll finish up the body by placing a slip stitch into our next stitch. So pull out the yarn and directly pull it through. Then you can just cut the yarn. Leave a little end for sewing. And just pull everything through. Now you can take your tapestry needle. Thread it. And you want to close up this hole. So to do that, you'll have to take your needle and insert it inside to outside, like this. And do the same for all stitches around. Once you're finished it, you can just pull it. Pull is closed. You can insert the needle into the body to hide the yarn end. So just poke it into the fill spot. And you can just cut the end and tuck in the end. Now you have finished the body of the snowman. You can just put that aside and we'll move on to the carrot nose. So to do that, you'll need to take your orange yarn, find the end, and we'll start off by doing a slip knot. So to do that, you'll have to take your finger and create a loop. Then you want to pull out the yarn. Like this. Then you can just insert your hook into the loop. And we'll chain 2. So if you remember, yarn over and pull through to create 1 chain. And there's your second chain. And then you want to skip the first chain and do a single crochet into the second chain. Like this. Then you want to slip stitch into the next stitch, which is this stitch right here. Pull out the yarn and pull it through. Then you can just cut your yarn end, leaving a long tail for sewing, and pull everything through. So now you want to finish up the nose by sewing in this end. So basically replicate the pattern that you see on the nose. And you just want to hide the end somewhere under. And then you can just cut it. And we can now attach the nose to the body. So take your blob and you want the nose to be somewhere in between the eyes at the center. To that, you want to insert your needle right next to the eye and out to the next stitch. Then you want to insert your needle through the nose. and then again 1 stitch to the side. And your last stitch, you want to insert it here. And then 1 stitch next to the eye, back out. Pull it tight, and you can just simply hide the end inside the body. Cut off the excess and tuck in the end. Reshape it a bit. And we'll move on to adding the blush. So you want to take your pink yarn, grab the centerpiece, and you can just cut it and thread it through your needle. So now you want to insert your needle somewhere towards the side and out under the hand. Leave a tail at the end. And you can insert the needle right under the eye, and then out under the other eye. And then you want to insert your needle under the hand, and then out the same spot where you insert it into the body. So it should look something like this. And you can just tie the two ends together. Cut the end and just tuck it inside the body. So your finished snowman ornament would look something like this. Thank you for watching and have a Merry Christmas.